Hey everybody, Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. I had an idea, and it really happened in a fraction of a second. Gee, I need baby wipes in here. I've got ink on my fingers. Um, we've been working off of this prototype with the two flap storybook for enticing my grandchildren to read things about family history. One story in this complete unit. But when I looked back on my desk here to get my phone, I saw this shape, the back side of the prototype, and I thought, you could make an even smaller storybook without the flaps using cast-off paper, and so I did. This is some dotted Swiss paper, brown with the little teeny dots. I've already started to age the corners. After all, I am an antique as far as my grandchildren are concerned. I hope they love antiques. But anyway, you need to then decide on some companion fabrics that are pleasing to you to put on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, glue these down, and ink the edges. But before I do, I just want to talk about the fact that, to my mind, it was pleasing to make the flap on the top overlap about 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch. And then let me just show you. Yeah, actually that'll look pretty if we put a little beige trim to help delineate. So this upper flap is not as big at all as this lower flap. I wonder how deep this flap is. This one is 4 1/8, and the upper one is 2 1/8. I guess I'm working in 1/8 segments here. But anyway, whatever's pleasing to you. And if I make any others, this will be the prototype, and I'll make them the same dimensions. I kind of like that. But anyway, I'm going to take a short break and do this, and I will be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I got to tell you that I did not quite cut this evenly. So what I did was obscure, I tried to ink it, didn't quite cover it. So I actually used my flare tip marker from Papermate and just added a black border all the way around so that it looked like it was intended to be slightly irregular. Some people call these junk journaling things. I don't like the word junk, but I digress. All right, so now we've got several choices for closures. In fact, let me clear my deck and show you some of the closures that I have in my big book. That's the book I'm creating about my grandparents, the great-great-grandparents of my grandchildren. I'm not sure this is the cover. I was experimenting with crumpled paper, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay, one way to close things is to use a paper clip, or in this case, this is a tiny little clip from Tim Holtz. It looks like the top of a board. Remember when you pass around the clipboard? It's like a little clipboard clip. That's one way to hold things in place, but it'd kind of be awkward, I think. I'm going to be ending up doing one like this where there's two parts to it, and you instead of using this kind of ribboning to expose what's below, I'm going to use string. And actually the string is it's just cotton thread that gals that crochet use. Now this has a magnet closing, and I needed to have inserted the magnet, though, in this project between these two pieces of paper, with the magnet side up here to the opposite magnet right there. Someday I'll show you how to do that. but you have to insert it before you put the paper in, or else it gets so darn thick. But let's get back to some of our alternatives. Let's see, do I have a closure here? No, that's just a folder in a pocket, a little secret portion. Okay, that was that one. There's the book. There's a different kind of pocket in a page of a book without flaps to hold interesting ephemera. Pictures of grandma. Oh, that's my dad and his brother. Oh, there's so much to share with you guys. There's great Grandpa Cheryl to my grandchildren. All right, let's find another type of closure. This closure works with this thing called Tack It Over and Over. It's by Aleen's. I've used her tacky glue for years, but not with the paper because it doesn't dry fast enough and it's very wet. But this works. You can use it on a flap like this and lift up and down multiple times. Okay, let's see what other kind of, okay, here's a magnet flap where let me pull this down, where I used a mechanism of paper. This is a single piece of double-sided, very thick paper. And I used a mechanism of a hole punched circle to cover the magnet. And the other end of it's over here. You just remove the 1940 U.S. Federal Census and show you. It's really hard to find the right magnets, but I digress. Okay. Okay, that doesn't have a closure. It's just a different kind of, oh yeah, it does. There's another magnet right underneath here and right underneath here. I'd forgotten because it's been a while since I did that. I've been working on writing up the story. This is what I wrote on the back of the U.S. Federal Census. I actually transcribed it. Well, I kind of abstracted it, but in great detail. Okay, and that's about it as far as closures that I can give you an example of. So we're going to do the one where we have to use some string, wind it around, etc. And I'll show you how to do it. We're going to need some circles cut out, and you need 2 or 3 depending on how thick your paper is. That's your companion paper. I said fabric, I'm getting down to it. And I think I'll put this one here and the other one about there. But we're going to need some little tiny brads to do it with. And that's where my stash of Tim Holtz stuff comes in. So I have several little brads. I have gold. I have kind of a rusty color brown. I have a lighter brown. And then I kind of have this brushed nickel. Oh, and there's some very shiny ones over here, I forgot. So I got to decide which looks best with the colors I've chosen. The gold is nice, but I don't like it on the purple. I think the silver's too much. Let's take this kind of brown color. Yeah, that's what I'll use. Oh, great. Now I have to put those all back. I'll do that afterwards. I can tell I'm going to have fun if the cat comes in. Well, I've got all these loose items. Okie dokie. Now, you're going to need an awl, A-W-L, or you can use the pointy end of your pick that you use to take the backing off of your double stick tape. But we've got to make these 2 button, basically. And the reason I'm using 2 pieces for each one is I want it to be thick enough. So I think I'll do, well, should I do 2 that are with the design? It's kind of nice against, you know, it's a contrast. But I think up here I'm going to put something going across. So I think I'll do the purple and up. And on this side, I'm going to put the design end up. So let's get some glue and get going with this. Okay. Why is this stuck? All right, we'll figure it out. Okay, is this a purple one? Let's see. Yep. You have a purple one. And I'm saving that pretty design one for something else. The top one's going to be purple on both sides. Okay, let's put a purple one on. Smush it around. Smush being a technical term, isn't it? It had to be permanent ink, didn't it? And we're going out to dinner tonight, Mr. Myrt and I, for real. All right, let's put this second one on. I'm going to slide it over here so that I can do the smushing part. Now, once it dries, which shouldn't take too long, we need to poke a hole through the middle portion of it, trying not to kill ourselves, so that it can then accept our little teeny brads. So I will do that. I thought I had a cutting board around here somewhere, but I'll just pick what I think is the center. All right, and insert the brad. Yeah, that's going to be nice, see? And I'll do the same for the other one. And it looks like, because there's some white on the sides, that I'm going to need to antique these as well. Age them. Okay, I'm doing the wiggle wiggle to make the hole bigger. And let's get that glue off. We don't want that there. Okay. All right, now, the reason I have extra ones is that once we're inside, we're going to need to cover up the two arms of the brad. And so we'll put a design on this one. I'm trying to think out loud here. And up here, we'll do purple. So I have, I need to cut one more design. Let me find my paper here. I really like this shape. Let's see if I can get enough here. Yeah, that's going to be pretty. So it'll be a contrast. Oh, we were going to do purple up above. Okay, so I need a purpley. We can do that. I think I'm okay. I think I've already got it, by George. All right, let's figure this out now. So about the middle up here, going left to right, we need to mark where we would like to insert this purpley one. Of course, I still have to age it. So I'm going to mark it. Boy, I hope I get better at lining these things up straight. Could actually measure. Okay, let's antique these before we go any farther. It's pretty easy to do it. Let's do the purpley one because I want to show you what it looks like. And then I'll finish it up with some additional embellishments off camera and show you the final results. Okay, we're now going to take this. Oh, it still doesn't look right. Got to get that edge so it's not white. Okay. Set it there. Come on. Oh, I already split it. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. And get it as far in as you can before you split the two. And then you'll just take one of your other colored circles and put it up there. Does that look better? Yeah, I don't want to put, I want the contrast between these two. Okay, so we'll apply a little bit of glue. our art glitter glue, since I'm trying it out, trying to get used to it. There we go. And that is the first part of this closure. I hope you like that. Okay, I'm going to pause it, and then I will finish in a momento. So you're probably wondering, once you've got your two little brads covered up on the inside, enough thickness, we use double thickness of this cardstock, how to get this string to stay up above. And here's how I did it. I found something tiny and tied a square knot, not because I'm planning to fit this over that whole circle, but because I'm going to use it this way. All righty. I'm just going to go in and make a loop. There we go. I hope this works. Whoops, we want it in the upper one. Fit it underneath and pull. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Okay, now it's permanently stuck on that upper part. And then we can fold our even smaller storybook closure in place. And there we go. It's a little bit long. I think I'll cut it. And that's how you do it. So this was the inspiration this time, just the back side of our 2-flap storybook to entice the grandchildren. Now we've got an even smaller one based on that same footprint, but with a very interesting closure, ready for me to write in it. I might even go ahead, I think I went around this a couple of times. I might even add some other embellishments. We'll see what happens, but that's about how you do it. Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing, everybody. That's a wrap.